I'm Luke Searveld. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. Let's compare some lights. So we're going to take the 4x4 Kino, so 4 foot by 4 tube Kino, and compare that to the Select 30 Kino Flo. So we've got the 4x4 up here, 4 tubes on high output. There's low and high output. This is on high output and just raw. And we're going to do intensity, and we're going to do sort of like quality of light. We're not going to do color because, sad to say, I'm sort of in between color meters right now. I have a Sekonic C700 on the way, and I'm also waiting for the Lumu Power add-on to your iPhone. But that's been delayed a little bit. It's a Kickstarter thing, and but I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, the C700 will be sort of a base model, and then the Lumu, it'll be interesting to see, how those compare. Anyway, so we've got daylight tubes in, and let's check out just what we've got here. It's about 6 feet to the unit, and I've got 57 foot candles here to me. And yeah, we're in between 2.2, 2.8 t-stop on the Vedra 25mm lens, and that's on a GH4 natural mode. I haven't done anything else to the picture profile. So here we go. So start at 50s. Now let's put the egg crate on the 4x4. Okay, so that does a little bit to give some direction to the light. You would still need to put black wrap on the edges, if you were doing this in real life. Now I've got 42 foot candles. It takes it down a little bit, but again, gives it some direction. Now let's take the crate off and put some 216 diffusion on it. See what that does. Okay, a little softer feel, but it brings the source of the light out just a little bit, because now the diffusion is the actual source of the light. 39 foot candles. So a little softer, and but now there's a little more spill, if you will, but it's a softer spill. So you might have to, put flags around that to take it off the walls and such. But just if you only had one light to do your interview with, and you've got some natural light in the background with the windows, great. You could pull it off. This is just a nice Saturday morning with the sun actually coming from that direction towards the windows. So they're pretty blown out. Anyway, that's that quality of light. Now let's compare this to the Select 30. Here's the Select 30 and nothing on it. So it's just 100% 5600, boom. And it's got good output. Let's see what the meter says. And of course, I've got some windows that are not blocked in this room. So, there is some ambient. This is not a scientific readout of how much these put out, but 52 foot candles here with nothing on it. So that's very similar to the old style 4x4. Now let's put the 60 degree crate on it. Actually, we'll put the 90 degree and then the 60 degree. Okay, so this is a 90 degree crate, and what's cool about this unit is that you don't have to put black wrap on it. I mean, the crate sits inside, and so there's no spill on the sides. Anyway, that's kind of a nice feature. And we're looking at 42 foot candles here. So it takes down some light for sure. But it directs it more, and there's less spill off the front. All right, now let's try the 60 degree, see what that does. All right, so that's a tighter grid for sure. 60 degree, let's see how that impacts the output. So we're looking at 38 and a half. Yeah. All right, now let's put, let's take the crate off and put the diffusion front on it. So it's like a DOP box, soft box. And we'll check that out. Yeah, so it's a little tricky to put on the first couple times. It's a little counterintuitive that the little white straps, there's 3 straps, 1 in the middle, 2 on the ends, that they don't go behind, they go in front. But as a chimera goes, you know, a soft box that folds up, this folds up really compactly, and it just slides on nicely. And you don't have a separate ring and spines and all that. It's all sort of incorporated, so I really like the direction that these are going. And now I have 2 different fronts. One is like a grid, you know, full grid or half grid, and I don't see it labeled on there, but let's see, maybe it is. We'll call it a grid. And, you know, a little softer now again. And we're looking at 44. That bumps up from the hard crates. And now we've brought the source of the light again further forward, and just a nice soft light. And now let's try the even softer front. Sort of we call it a chimera white. It's kind of a generic white that's stronger. So it's sort of like if this is like this is like a full grid, then that would be like maybe even more than a 216, more like a 129. Okay, yeah. Nice, nice soft front. Let's see what we got. All right, we're down to 33. So that's the least amount of light that we've gotten out of this unit at full bore, but it's definitely the softest. So yeah, 33.3. Anyway, gives you kind of an idea. Just, you know, real brief comparison. The thing that we haven't talked about yet is the fact that, you know, these lights are pretty comparable at this level. You know, blue tubes in the first one, full 5600 here, but now the Select 30 has all this other capability that's just waiting to get used. So not only do you have the same amount of output as your regular 4x4, now you've got you know, full dim, you've got bicolor, so you can go warm to cool easily. You can put in your plus minus green magenta, and now they've updated the firmware. You can have a full RGB mode, so any color that you want, as well as you can pick, you know, gels from like Roscoe and Lee and dial those in. So very similar to a sky panel, not as much output, but just a nice broad form factor. So it's closer to the, you know, S120 but you know, you don't have the price bump that you'd have with a sky panel. So all these capabilities, and then on top of that, you've got DMX in and out analog if you want it, you know, 5-pin, and you have built-in wireless. So you can hook that up to, you know, a Centena box and your iPad with Luminaire, and away you go. So let's do that next. So I've got the AKS transmitter set up, and that's then tied into you know, Luminaire, and just, you know, with a little private Wi-Fi between the two, and then we're reading the Select 30, you know, with its internal Wi-Fi. And so, you know, you get a little readout like this. I set it up with basically 6 channels. So you've got 3 power channels, intensity, warm to cool, and then green magenta. And then the 4th channel here is made up of 3 channels RGB. And then that gives you a color wheel, and you can go crazy with that. Let's just take the color wheel here, and let's see. Well, first off, this is daylight, so 155 on the 255 scale. That's 5600 coming out of here. So if I take that down, it'll get warmer. So now let's just go into color mode. So we'll go into color mode, and that's on top of the warmth. So if I bring up the cool a little bit, that will cool our color. I mean, it'll add a little coolness to the color that, so right now I have it in the center, so that's white. Because we've balanced our cameras to that, I'm going to put it to the 155, and so now that will show up sort of as white on the back camera. And then now if I jump around, I can go to, you know, a much bluer blue, and then just go around, you know. So we've got sort of a teal, bluish green, we've got green, we've got yellow. Well, that's pretty green yellow. More yellow there, and then red, and then we go to you know, purple, and then back to white. So anyway, that gives you a little idea of you know, you basically have the color wheel to play with, and that's pretty cool. Now, in terms of you know, you can also go to like a DMX it, you know, just a small 12-channel box or a 24-channel box, and you could that hooks up with this easily as well, either through Wi-Fi or through hard DMX. And yeah, you know, it's basically the same light that you're used to with the 4x4 Kino, except now it's got all this depth of capability. And it's kind of like, you know, you start out with a TV that doesn't have a remote, and it's got dials and rabbit ears, and then now you're into digital streaming. And so, wow. And you know, I was a little skeptical. I thought, you know, it's kind of a fixed unit. You can't pull it apart with all the tubes and stuff like that. And but now I've spent some time with it, and I have to say I'm won over. So I think, you know, I'm ready now to swap out my old 4x4s for these guys. And I'm not being paid by Kino or anything like that. This is just me, you know, as a working gaffer, you know, thinking about how it will work into my workflow. And I'm pretty happy with what they've come out with. It's just a solid light. They put it together well and really thought it out. Yeah, looking forward to using these in the field even more than I have the last few weeks. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.